12 tricks students use to pass exams. Number 12. Blindsiding.
Forget writing on your hand.
This technique is innovative and smart, although it takes so much planning that not many students choose to go this route. On the contrary, this method will allow you to learn a new skill that could be beneficial later in life. Learning Braille is something most people wouldn't do unless they have an eye condition that leaves them blind or gives them bad vision. However, some students have learned Braille and used it to pass their exams. They write their notes in Braille and come exam time, they pull out the paper and voila! Number 11. The Coke Bottle Method. Students who are handy with Photoshop and have some time on their hands can put their editing skills to the test. It requires a scanner, printer, and a glue stick. A label from a Coke bottle, vitamin water, or water bottle is scanned into the computer, and the text is replaced with notes instead of the ingredients. Since many teachers allow students to bring a beverage to class, many students have found this method to be discreet. After the label is formatted and glued on the bottle, many students casually walk into the classroom and place the bottle on their desk. Even though some teachers request all personal belongings on the floor, it isn't too hard to take a sip out of your water or soda bottle in between the exam when you're feeling thirsty. Number 10. Avoiding bad luck. Pupils will do whatever it takes to do well on their tests, which includes warding off any bad luck or evil that may harm them. Some students will wear talismans to ward off the evil eye, while students in Asian countries will avoid eating seaweed soup at all costs. Despite it being a traditional dish, eating the soup means that you'll lose all the material you learned. To counteract it, students will eat noodles for breakfast instead. Noodles in Chinese mean everything goes down smooth, which many believe that the test will go smoothly.
Well, whatever works to pass the test, right?
Number 9. Hidden notes. As bright as they come, some students have devised a few tricks to conceal their notes when it comes to taking a test. A few people have hacked into their calculators to program the formulas, or even write them out on the back of their calculator and hide it with the cover. Some students have resorted to writing notes on their fingertips, although this method requires neat handwriting and patience. Some students took it to the next level and wrote their notes with ultraviolet pens and invisible ink. Some of you might have already known these techniques, and this is probably because these tricks have been shared due to its effectiveness. However, no trick is entirely foolproof, so proceed with these methods with caution. Number 8. India exam scandal. Back in April 2016, exams were canceled for 170,000 students. Although it sounds like good news, it was a result of leaked papers. 3 people were arrested for leaking a chemistry exam to other students in hope of passing, but instead it forced the entire test to be canceled. In fact, this was the second time around that exams for the university were delayed, and it caused students to riot and hold violent protests. Cheating has become commonplace in India as students feel immense pressure to do whatever it takes to pass. This includes conjuring up different tricks and providing crib sheets and study material to pupils during tests. Number 7. Smart technology. You might think high-tech gadgets like smart glasses or spy gear are only used in movies, but over the years they have become readily available and cheaper to purchase. Smart glasses have the ability to capture photos and send information, which makes it an awesome tool to use during an exam. Back in May 2016, students in a medical college in Thailand have been caught red-handed utilizing such equipment to cheat in exams. Anything from spy cameras to smartwatches, they used wireless spy cams in their eyeglasses to read the exam questions and transmit them to associates, and receive an answer through their smartwatch. In fact, many countries like Thailand and Australia have banned the use of these gadgets to minimize cheating, although I do have to give them an A+ for the creative thinking. Number 6. Hairstyle matters. In an endless cycle or all-nighters and cramming, you probably forgot to take a shower.
But don't worry, not bathing before an exam in South Korea is a good thing.
It's believed that washing out your hair would wash out all the knowledge as well. For other students in other countries, hairstyle plays an important role during exam time. Some girls will avoid ponytails and opt for braids on exam day because this helps organize and lay out the material you learned, while wearing a ponytail means the knowledge will slide right out of your hair. Number 5. Body double. Students will go to extreme lengths to get an A on an exam, especially if it's the SATs or ACTs to get into a good college. As crazy as it sounds, some students will even hire body doubles to take their test for them. That's what 7 teenagers did back in 2011. They were busted for conducting an SAT cheating ring, with the leader being a brainy college student who was charging thousands of dollars to take tests for pupils. He used fake driver's license with the student's name and his photo to slip past the monitors at the test sites. They were eventually caught when administrators noticed the students' scores were significantly higher than their GPAs. If the students thought they were so smart, well, the school officials were smarter. Number 4. Hopeful prayers. Exams are a time of high stress. especially in India and East Asian countries where the pressure to do well can make students go crazy. Parents in East Asia are very attentive when it comes to their children's educations. In fact, many parents will even wait outside for kids in the exam hall, praying for them to pass. Aggressive parents will go as far as praying inside Buddhist temples every single day for up to 100 days leading up to the test. In India, students will also go to the temples to pray that they will do well on examination day, and will even bribe the gods for an A. On exam day, Indian mothers will pray as well and feed their kids dahi shakar, which will boost their energy to do well, eliminating fatigue and nerves. Number 3. Rubbing skin.
Imagine being a failing student only to magically get an A. Sounds like a dream come true, right? Well, good grades don't come easy.
Especially if it involves sexual favors, things don't always have a happy ending. Kaylin Thompson, an Oklahoma high school teacher, was charged with second-degree rape after she had sexual relations with her student over the course of several months. The student had been struggling to pass his exams, and he received a 98% on his English test after he and his teacher had an affair. Thompson eventually resigned from her position. Even though the age of consent in Oklahoma is 16, it is a state law that it is illegal for teachers to engage in sexual relations with their students until they are 21. So think twice before you consider rubbing elbows with your teacher to pass your exams. Number 2. Exam rituals. Before a big exam, Japanese pupils would consume katsudon, which is a warm bowl of rice topped with an egg and deep-fried pork cutlet. The name katsu means winning, which is thought to bring students luck. Japanese students would also eat Kit Kat bars before a test. Pronounced kito kato is similar to the name katsu, which means inevitably winning. This is thought to be a good luck charm. In India, it is common for students to wear lucky gems on exam day. Some stones have different meanings, but they are used for tranquility, focus, and success. Cafeterias in Hong Kong will also give university students apples, or serve apple dishes. Bingguo, meaning apple in Chinese, translates to safety, so eating an apple means you will safely pass the exam. Number 1. Grade bank. As a way to aid students facing intense pressure during exam times, a school in Nanjing, China has developed a grade bank. This allows pupils to borrow grades so they can pass tests and repay them in subsequent exams. Some teachers let students pay the bank by scoring extra points or by conducting public speeches or monitoring lab experiments. Students who fail to repay their loans are blacklisted and will no longer be able to partake in the grade bank. The system was developed in November 2016 and is only available to the school's advanced placement class. The school's director came up with this program in hopes of placing significant importance to the students' growth and learning instead of their performance.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.